All right, here we are, very last video of the semester. So I'm just going to talk about colloids. Colloids are types of solutions which have larger particles that remain suspended in solution. So I'm not talking about like separating, like the solids separate onto the bottom, but they actually stay dissolved in the solution. Colloids are things that have what are called the Tyndall effect, and they can have light, that should have a T, scattering by particles in a colloid. Looks like this, right? When you have rays of sunshine shining through, you can actually see the light, which usually you wouldn't be able to see. This is a Tyndall effect in nature. So if you're shining a light through pure water, you don't actually see the light in the solution. But if you're shining a light through a colloid that has particles suspended, you can actually see the light and what it looks like. We actually see these light rays, okay? So colloids are things that can do that. There's actually a couple of specific types of colloids, and these are terms you might have heard before, which is why I wanted to introduce them to you. So an aerosol is a type of colloid, and you'll notice they all just have different types of solutes and solvents. An aerosol is when a liquid or solid is dissolved in a gas, so like fog or smoke. Foams are when you have a gas dissolved in a liquid or solid, so kind of the opposite of an aerosol. Whipped cream or marshmallow, you have air pockets in there. Emulsions are when you have a liquid dissolved in a liquid or a solid, like milk or butter or mayo. Those are like liquids dissolved in other liquids, or like butter you can kind of say is a solid. That's an emulsion. And a sol, which you may not have heard of before, is when you have a solid in a liquid or a solid. So emulsions and sols, there's a couple fine lines there. Sols are like cement, so a solid dissolved in a liquid, and then it solidifies and it's really a solid and solid. Paint and gums like gums that you use in baking and things like that. They kind of like change phase. So you dissolve them and then they change phase and then they stay suspended. So that's kind of what you're thinking of. So these are types of solutions as well. There's just other things that you might be more familiar with.